I have a few general questions which have surfaced as a result of our various conversations.
I'll do my best.
We know the Western governments, the Western media, and others know that the Aga Khan is a spiritual leader of some 15 million followers. They also have been led to believe by the Aga Khan himself that he is a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad and holder of religious authority. All these are of course self-declarations on his part.
Yes. All above is true. What is your question?
The 49th Imam, the fourth Aga Khan, was interviewed many times during his lifetime by the Western media, by some renowned journalists. None of them ever asked him a simple question such as, "Your Highness, as a Muslim leader, holder of religious authority and a descendant of the Prophet, why are you indulging in haram businesses which are un-Islamic? Banking, alcohol, pork to name a few. The Prophet would disown you if he was alive today."
I agree. One simple question would bring the house of cards tumbling down. You're right. The answer is very simple. The interviews were controlled by the late Aga Khan. The topics and questions to be asked were pre-agreed. Aga Khan would not want to answer any questions that would incriminate him. Of course he would not.
So the interviews are really a sham and even corrupt, and if that is the case, what is the point of listening to them? They are not authentic. I really would like a journalist to break ranks and ask Aga Khan why his followers ask him for forgiveness of their sins and worship him. Are you God? He has never been asked these questions.
That would reveal the entire sham and the reality of this cult. But of course he will never let himself get into this sort of a situation. The journalists are given strict instructions to keep within the agreed parameters and not to stray.
But there is something more surfacing here, Mom. The Aga Khan is controlling and hiding the truth. An honest, decent person would not do that. Islam would call this corruption.
Concealing the truth in his case is like him committing perjury.
Strong words, Mom.
Not strong enough. I expect a person of his stature to be more honest and open than any other ordinary Joe. He is a spiritual leader after all, an adherent of religious beliefs and in his case, Islamic ethics. He goes on and on about ethics but rarely practices it himself.
I see what you mean. He is always going on about being ethical. That has always been one of his central messages. Preaching something and practicing something else is hypocrisy. This is what he seems to be doing.
Do as I say, not as I do. The amazing fact is his followers never question or dare even raise an eyebrow when it comes to their Imam. He can do no wrong, and even when something blatantly unsavory is exposed or discovered about their Imam, they simply don't believe it. He is infallible. That is what his followers believe of him.
You are so right, Mom. His 2 marriages ended in divorces due to his adultery. He settled out of court with both his wives, paying out millions in settlements to his wives. The whole world knew the circumstances of his divorces, but his followers put it down to him not being able to give time to his marriages and wives due to his heavy workload of looking after his followers.
Just look at the depth of indoctrination of his followers. They are blaming themselves for his divorces, and Aga Khan lets them instead of manning up and admitting his weaknesses and fallibility.
One feels sorry for them. How can they be so blinded? Their commitment to Islam, they do call themselves Muslims, is totally misguided and misplaced.
One has to take a deep breath and try to understand the extent of the deception that is so firmly embedded within this cult.
It's beggars belief that 15 million people cannot recognize the deception. One wouldn't have to dig deep to discover the hollowness of all the claims made by all the 5 Aga Khans. I have numerous other questions and topics to discuss with you.
Sure. We can next time.